what do we have here? Looks like a bunch of blue corn to me. So what does that mean? Blue corn blind. Let's go. Welcome back to Old Fashioned Ways. I'm Doc Martinez. I'm pretty freaking excited about this one today. Blue corn. Blue corn is one of those corns that's just different, nice, and kind of special in its own way. I decided, hey, a lot of blue corn going out there. Why not grab a few of them and kind of do a blind with them? Let's see. You know, one of my favorites is the Still Austin, of course. So is it going to live up and compete against all these other ones? Wood hat, little higher proof, 100% blue corn. So it's going to be an interesting battle. Definitely going to be interesting. Let me not waste any time. Let me get this set up and let's get going. All right. Got them all poured in front of me. As usual, start from left to right. No cleansing in between the first round. Then I'll pause it, go through them, cleanse, rank them, and give you my final thoughts. But I'm just going to start nosing. As I start tasting, I'm going to talk about each bottle individually, kind of give some notes on each bottle. So I actually don't know what is what right now, but let's just mix them up and just to make it even more confusing. There we go. Now, just kind of sitting down looking at these. This one's probably the lightest. This one's the lightest. Two of the darkest. This one's actually pretty dark as well, but lighter than this one. So the two darkest, the lightest, and these are kind of right in between. Now, look at the bottles. I noticed that these two are the darkest, and we'll talk a little bit more about those two in a second. But so if I were to guess, that's kind of what they are, just from looks. Let's go into smell. That smells good. That smells like a blue corn. I've now been smelling enough blue corn that when you smell blue corn, it is so good. Look, my mouth is already drooling. I haven't even taken a sip yet. I haven't had any sips today either. Good, just solid blue corn. The sweetness, that blue corn smell. A little bit lighter, a little bit spicier. It smells like a little bit higher proof. Not as sweet and not as blue corn forward either. Like that one, a little bit spicy, but not too blue corn in your face kind of smell. This one smells like blue corn maple syrup. Like actually reminds me of a little bit of actually a Texas whiskey, kind of like a, oh no, what? I don't know. I don't want to guess. Never mind. Never mind. Now see, this is dark and funky. High proof. Now this one I'm actually just thinking is this one now, because it's very dark, very funky. And I always remember them kind of having a little bit of funk to them, which is I don't mind. But it smells like a high proof, and I don't remember. I have to look at them. We're gonna go, as I said, we're gonna go through them. I think this is the highest proof because it is cask strength. That smells so good too. That's creamy. Oh, my mouth is drooling again. Kind of reminds me like a honey. Some fruity notes in that one. So good. All right. I'm going to taste the first one, give a little bit of notes, kind of start with the bottle one over here, kind of give you a little bit of information. Just kind of drink my way down and just kind of go through bottles. As I said, just kind of drinking this one, and I'm talking about that one, doesn't mean they correspond. They could not. I'm not 100% sure. But first taste of the day. That's interesting. I'm going for a little sip because that was my first sip. I'm going to get another one. Blue corn. Definitely kind of mid-proof. A little bit of tannic-y there, but not very. Ooh, and I'm getting a little bit of spiciness in the background, so that's taking a little while to hit. Okay pour. Okay pour to start off with. I have my expectations up here, so I'm not saying it's a bad pour. I'm saying it's a little bit above, like a little bit above average right now. But once I go through all of them, kind of go back through them, they'll kind of start fluctuating and get, you know, show their true colors, right? So just to kind of go over it. First one I'm going to talk about is, I think it's called Bakey's, Bakey's, right? So this is Blue Kentucky Straight Bourbon Whiskey, double oaked. And this one's 118 proof. So actually, that'd be funny if that does match up with that, but it could. That might be what that tannickiness is, the double oaked in there. There is some blue corn, but there is some niceness at the back. And 118 proof, I'm going to feel that. I'm definitely going to feel that on the mouth. All right, next one here. Oh, that's good. Oh, that's good. That's good. Oh, I like that one. That's blue corn, sweetness, just nice mouthfeel, not too proofy. Tongue's just enjoying that. That's nice. That's nice. I like that pour. That's a good pour. All right, let's talk about this bottle real quick. All right, this one is Whiskey Acres Blue Popcorn. Actually, that's what caught my attention. That was called Blue Popcorn. And after I had a few of these, that's where I decided, this is maybe why I started doing a blue blind. When I saw this one, I ordered this one. So this one is Whiskey Acres Blue Popcorn, straight bourbon whiskey, estate distillery, estate grown, and aged at least 4 years. Oh, here it is. 97 proof. 97 proof. That's probably going to be the lowest proof one that we have out there. All right. What am I on? Glass number 3, right? Glass number 3. All right. Oh, that's the one that has that maple syrup, blue corn, funky smell to it. Oh, that's really good too. Blue corn. Yeah, there's something about blue corn. Nice blue corn. Ooh. There's like a nice blue corn, a sweetness, almost like a honey sweetness, but not quite honey. I need to figure out what is that? There's a little bit of like almost like a maple honey kind of sweetness there. Or I'm trying to think, what is that called? It's not sugar cane, but it's the other one that kind of, my wife came in at the same time, at the right time, so I could ask her. Sorghum. It kind of reminds me a little bit of sorghum on this one. But overall, nice fill, nice hug. It's giving me a nice hug in the background. Nice, lovely taste. For being the lightest one, there was actually quite a lot of flavor in that one. All right, let's talk about this one next. So this is a Wood Hat Old Blue, single barrel cask strength blue corn, 65.4% alcohol by volume, and this is barrel 1096. If you've never had Wood Hat, they're actually very interesting. I discovered them through Bruzo. He went over there and did some picks, and I like that they make corn specifically for whiskey instead of just getting corn to make whiskey. They actually have now made a specific corn for whiskey, and I think it's their orange corn, and I haven't gotten that one yet. I'm hoping to get that soon, but I just find it interesting that they go and do so much research on the corn, the start of it. When they make it, they start with the ingredients that they think are best for whiskey. All right, next, let's go into this one here. So this one is the like more earthy on the nose. Okay, it's earthy. It's chocolatey, very chocolatey actually, but lots of flavor. Definitely lots of flavor. I'm completely thrown off. I really thought that this was going to be this one, but it tastes such a low proof. I don't think it's that one. But there's a lot of earthiness, which is not a bad earthiness. Sometimes you get that earthiness that's just too gritty and too much of that way. Nice nose, nice balance. A little funky, a little bit different taste than the other ones. Maybe I am wrong. Maybe it's still this one, and I'm just not tasting the heat on it. But I am really liking that. All right. Before we get to the last pour, we still have to talk about 2 more bottles, so we'll do that. So this one is Bluegrass Kentucky bottled in bond. Now this one, Lip Service helped me grab this one. It is a 6-year blue corn. So it's 75% blue corn, 21% wheat, and 4% malted barley. Special limited edition, small batch. I wonder if they make this in a foolproof. I'm gonna have to reach out to them and ask them. All right, so we're gonna go in for this one. Ooh, that smells grainy. Like you're walking through a field of wheat and corn. Ooh, not bad. A little flat compared, maybe because I just had this last one that had a lot of flavor. Oily though, viscous on the tongue. Right now, I do not have a clear-cut favorite. They are so different and unique in their own way. All of them bring that blue corn forward. That blue corn just sits on that tongue and lasts for a long time, and I'm loving that. And then this one, the viscosity on it, even though it was a little bit lighter than the rest, is staying there even longer. Wow, great. This is gonna be fun. I'm gonna pause. I'm gonna go through these, and then I'm gonna come back and tell you what my results are. Ooh, wow. This was hard. This was really hard. They're so different in so many ways. So different, but yet so the same. This was hard. This is a lot harder. I do have them ranked. Took me a little bit longer than I thought. A lot more sips than I thought. I was cleansing my palate, then I stopped cleansing my palate because there's just so much oil in this that I was cleansing my palate that was making things taste a little bit more tannicky because the oil was staying in my mouth. I probably needed a Coke Zero kind of cleanse, but holy cow. Blue corn, there's something to it. I need to do something with blue corn in my near future, I think. So let me bring out, I have them written down here. Let's flip this up here. All right, I'm gonna put that to the side so I can figure out what's what. I'm gonna start with last place, of course. Work my way up, and then when we get to first and second, I'm gonna show you first. But all right, for last place for me, and not because it's a bad pour, this was the only one that was kind of more subtle in the mouth compared to all the rest of them. All the rest were like bam, 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 smack you in the mouth. And this one was very subtle. So if you want a kind of subtle blue corn, this will probably be one of your favorites. This is actually a really good pour. All right, let's see what it is. What is it? B. So B is Whiskey Acres Popcorn. Which one's that one? That's this one here. So at the end, I'm gonna put them all. Well, you know what? Let's do that. Let's just put it in front, right? So, interesting. Now, the next two were the darkest ones and the most kind of unique, earthy, dark chocolate, like the viscosity, mouthfeel made me drool. And I'm making them sound like they should be winning, right? But they didn't win. But they were so good. They were so good. These were very unique. They kind of reminded me of like a Texas whiskey, a craft whiskey, something like that, where it's very unique and they did a good job of making that uniqueness stand out, but also taste very good. So for me, fourth place, barely, third and fourth were hand in hand, is D. D for me was Wood Hat. Oh, wow. Okay. So that was Wood Hat after all. I was thinking that maybe it wasn't because I didn't taste the 65.4% alcohol by volume. So I really didn't think that's what it was. All right. Third place for me, once again, whatever Wood Hat went against on this one could have easily won. They were just neck and neck. They're both just so much oil on that tongue. Both so unique and just interesting. Very interesting. Here you go. It is A. A for me was the Becky's Double Oak. So the Double Oak here came in third for me. So this leaves the two on the end here, the Bluegrass and the Still Austin. So I'm going to tell you, these two, bam, 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 really close. I kind of have them ranked, but let me go for one last taste before I get my final ranking, okay? Oh, such a good pour. Such a good pour. Both of these, amazing pours. Now, super close. The only reason that this one's edging out this one, it's a little bit more, the complexity on it is a little bit more. So they both had the blue corn. They both had nice sweetness. They both don't overpower the tongue. They both have nice complexity. They both have a nice mouthfeel, right? The finish on all these, all of them goes on and on and on. But this one's complexity was just a little bit nicer. It kind of went through it, kind of rolled through it, kind of that sweetness in there. And I like a little bit more sweetness. Just stayed on the tongue a little bit longer. Nice, nice, nice. Either one of these, I would just be happy to sip on. Definitely. So, what is my winner? Let's see. Who is it going to be? Is it going to be Bluegrass or Still Austin? E. E for me was, Still Austin won. Now, I know all of you out there about like, he's a Still Austin fan. Of course, Still Austin won. I honestly didn't know which one it was. I did not know which one was Still Austin and all these. It just won today. That was, they're doing some nice things over there at Still Austin. So that makes that second place C, which is that Bluegrass. And this is the one that actually Lip Service helped me grab. So I don't know how available this is. I know with the Still Austin, it's gone. You can't grab it anymore. But with this Bluegrass, I know it says limited. It's a blue corn bottled and bond. And that's interesting. Both of these are the 100. So this is a bottled and bond and this is a bottled and bond. Both of them are 100 proof. And the fact that they beat out some of the higher proofers is interesting to me. But great pours. All of them are. There you go. There's my rankings on the blue corn. What do you guys think? Wow. Have you had this many blue corn before? Have you been able to try this many? This was fun. This was a lot of fun. This is a lot harder than I thought it would be. I really thought like one of the higher proof ones was actually going to come out on top. The viscosity on all these, that mouthfeel on all of these is just amazing. It really, really is. Well, before I let you go, you know what I like to do? I like to mix all of them. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to mix them all. I'm going to make sure not to waste. And the way that this tasted, I couldn't imagine this tasting at all bad. There's just so much goodness in this. I'm hoping that this is like the magic mix, the magic blend here. All right, let's stir that up a little bit. Nose is amazing. Blue corn for miles. Love it. All right, let's taste this. It's good. Did it improve it? Actually, it didn't. You get all the viscosity, all the mouthfeel, and all that. But that earthiness and that woodiness for some reason came forward. And sometimes you just need to kind of let it sit and blend a little bit longer. But I'm tasting at the end. It seems like that's a little bit more forward on me. A little bit of that tannic earthiness is kind of there, which is not a bad pour at all. This is actually really good. I have to film a few more. So I think I'm going to go sit this and leave it out there. Let it kind of marinate. And as I'm editing, I'm going to come back to this. If this tastes as good as I think it can taste after it kind of sits for a while, I actually might try to put this into a barrel or put this into an infinity bottle for a little while and just put it and let it sit there for a little bit. But we'll see. We'll see. All right, my friends. Thank you for joining me on another journey down my whiskey rabbit hole, my blue corn whiskey rabbit hole. To our next journey, my friends. Cheers.